turn 35, and that should be the last turn of this tournament game, because Marcus is still in the void. I'm at his throne. He has only 4 units defending it: a shaman, priest, archer, and longswordsman. He asked probably some tribute from his vassal. Got many units, but it's too late. Unfortunately, should have asked that 1 turn earlier, because I'm going to attack this turn. So I've got this boar who managed to reach the throne, next to the throne. This turn he was here. Then I've got these 2 units who can reach this turn, as well as the Nut Serpent, because I've got scouting on my rogue, so I move a bit faster. I've got 4 movement points, 4 additional movement points. Then the rest of my units cannot reach this turn, but I've got Death March, so I'm going to combine them and reach the city this turn. So I sent all the units that could reach this turn next to the city without using Death March on them, because obviously it gives a loss of 50% of HP, so that's quite a lot. So I've got 5 units here, in addition to my 3 units already there, so that's a total of 8 units. And I expect my units, my low tier units, to die. I think I could beat Marcus only with the Nut Serpent and the Shock Serpent and my hero and maybe the flyer. But anyway, it's the end of the game, so let's send all the troops and be sure to win. I'm going to think about the placement first, the positioning first, and stop the recording. Okay, so I position my units like this. As many units as possible with the rogue to benefit from the stack buff. So I've got Poison Knowledge, opening up a new damage channel, Weapon Finesse for melee damage, and that's it actually, but that's already not bad. And the rest of the units there. I hesitated for the Shock Trooper, because he's probably going to get killed pretty fast with only 37 HP. But at the same time, it's going to be worse if he's here, and that would bring some of the units there towards the left, and then I would take more time to reach them, and they would probably do even more damage because they would be far away from the gate. So I think that's a good compromise. I will have the Nut Serpent, the flyer, go through the wall, because they fly or they float, and the Nut Serpent have phase. The Nut Serpent can be healed by the apprentice, though I guess he won't, because he would probably move first. The trooper is infantry, so he has wall climbing, so he's going to go over the wall, but probably going to get killed. And so the only unit that is likely to hit the wall is the Shock Serpent. I expect my rogue to cast spells to heal some of the units. So yeah, I already showed that, and then I can send the scout. He's probably going to die, but that's some hits that won't go on other units. So let's go. And maybe before that, so Marcus Necromancer army is here. So if we waited a few more turns and I didn't take his throne, I would have to move back toward the cave entrance, as I said on the previous video, and so I would be short on time, but I could probably still move through here, and I've got the builder here, so I would be able to build a road, so that should be manageable. But it would put more pressure on me if I let him continue. I got 1 unit with deserted because of my alignment. I don't know about him. Oh, this is a good unit, so this guy. It's at minus 325 base happiness. Yeah. So he still has mana at least. I mean, he still has gold. Okay, so let's finish this game. So yeah, better than I expected actually. So let's watch the replay. I lost, wow, that's much better than I expected. I lost only 1 unit. And that's not the unit I expected. I expected to lose some of the low tier units. Instead I lost the flyer, probably because he had only 35 HP. Yeah, so I used quick dash as expected on the cheetah. That's a bit weird though, because it should not be possible to heal it. I have to report that. Then yeah, I wonder what would have happened if Marcus asked for the tribute 1 turn earlier. I might not have been able to take its throne, but then I would probably have gone for the Vassal. But at the same time, if he has 1 unit next to the Vassal, I'm going to be in trouble to take it, so I'm not sure what I would have done. I'd probably waged an economic war on him. I would have stayed concealed with my units, with my rogue, who can conceal himself in forest and cities. So here I've got the Node Serpent bringing the Shaman to half HP, and the Flyer taking the Priest to very low HP, while my Shock Trooper is climbing the wall, and as planned the Shock Serpent is destroying the wall. I didn't see what my rogue did this turn. He cast quick dash on himself, okay, and then he didn't move. Pretty stupid from the AI, I don't know why. Didn't move. And that's also an issue with quick dash. The fact that after we fix it, it won't get the healing, but it will still get the movement points. So the AI is likely to use it even if the gain is quite low. But actually, I think it takes into account the fact that there is no healing, so it should calculate that it's not interesting to use it. So I killed the priest and the shaman now. And there is only 2 units left, a longswordman and archer. But I don't have enough units inside. If the Node Serpent was not entangled, he could have killed 1 more, and I might have lost no unit during that fight. So I guess that's the moment where the flyer is killed. Yeah, he needs to send 2 units to kill it, and then that's the end. Okay, and the magical ping coming now. Yeah, because my apprentice is elite, so he can float above the walls. So I won. Let's look at the stats. Turn 35. So I took some time to read my notes about the game. As you can see, Marcus was above me for some time. Not that much above me, but a bit. And I started to gain back momentum around turn 17 up to 21 when we were more or less neck and neck. And then it changed really on turn 25. but then I lost my units, and then I got back on top on turn 29. But actually, if you look at the details of the score, Marcus has a big advantage in terms of knowledge, as he's playing AD, and also because he cleared some sites. It looks like he cleared Sphinx Temple, which put him on top, and so at some point he had more than 1,400 points ahead of me, but that was just knowledge, which he wasn't really able to put to good use. So if you remove the 1,400 points, then he is below me at this stage. If we check happiness, he was really bad in happiness after turn 25 when I started taking his city. So turn 25 is when I was in this area with a scout, and I recruited 6 units from 2 inns, and then I took this city, and I had a flyer which I had recruited, and I took Urbion at the same time, a combined attack taking the 2 cities, and so he lost 100 happiness and an additional 100 because I inflicted 3 defeats in a row. And then later he lost a hero at the big battle on turn 25, and then he lost his leader himself on turn 28 for a reason I still ignore, probably against independence. And then he was always below 300 morale, almost always, which was pretty bad for him in terms of mana and gold income, I guess. At least for mana, I know. In terms of military scores, we were pretty close for much of the game. I was below here. I'm not sure why. I checked my notes, and I'm not sure why I was below on which units I lost on turn 11, but it put me behind. I'm not sure why, what happened. Then around turn 21, so I was more or less at the same level. I actually had split my troops on turn 14. It was some turns ago. I cleared a dungeon, not sure which turn, checking that. So I had my rogue on one side, my leader on the other side. I tried to clear the dungeon on turn 16 and failed. And I cleared the dungeon on turn 17. So that's here, and then I gain a lot, 400 points in terms of military with the dungeon. And my rogue was in trouble in the underground on turn 17. And then I was lucky and didn't lose him. And then I was on a winning spree on these turns, and I took Ido Umbag, the dwarven city. Actually, I took it only on turn 24. That was much later. Took me some time. And then turn 24, 25 is a big change. So 24, that's when I made a movement mistake. So on turn 25, he killed my leader and my sorcerer and my army, and I lost about 600 points, actually more than that, because I was building units all the time. He lost also some units and probably converted some with his Necromancer, so he didn't lose that much in terms of military strength. But you can see that he was gaining about 200 points each turn, and then it slowed down to 90, so he lost at least 100, including his AD and baby shock serpent. But then I gained background very fast, and then on turn 31, that's where I inflicted him a big defeat. So he lost 1,200 military strengths in one turn when I just destroyed everyone at the cave entrance near me. And then the turn after, is it already the turn after on turn 32? Yeah, on 2 turns after, on turn 33, he suicided his leader, troops, and everyone from the inn he had recruited at the cave entrance here, trying to beat my rogue. So I lost some points, but he lost much more, and then the game was over at this stage. So in terms of domain, you can see a big change on turn 20 when I took 2 cities. No, I took the Archon dwelling, sorry. And then that's turn 25. When I took, so turn 24 for me and 25 for Marcus, when I took the 2 cities and he lost them. Then I raised 1. And then on turn 28, etc., I started taking Norm and taking Urbion again, taking the old Orc City underground extra. Yep. So I think that the main mistakes from Marcus were not to send hunters and shamans toward me to harass me. Didn't scout very well either, so he didn't really have a good view on me, whereas I was always more or less able to say where his troops were. And he should, in this area, when he attacked me, should have gone for the troops, but he didn't, so he lost a lot. Because attacking me was a big loss for him. Sorry, I think the sound bugged a bit. On the northwest, definitely should not have attacked me, and yeah, that's the main mistakes I think he did. Also, should the baby shock serpent on the big battle maybe, because then he lost a big unit to evil. Ah yeah, another big mistake I think was not to stay around this vassal city, because he could have done a lot of quests for them and gained a lot of units, but obviously it didn't have a very good location actually. Yeah, it was on a small patch of land, and then it was a rapid, but at the same time it was a good location because he had this human vassal which was a city size. And because he was playing AD, so it was easier for him to move out of this. Yep, so thanks for watching this game, I hope you enjoyed it, and I tried to put a lot of videos of fights at the beginning, but then later on not that many. I hope it was useful for you to see the videos of the tactical battles. Please leave comments, and next match will be versus Gab the Gab. It will be a tough match. I hope I can beat him, and then it would be the finale versus Jean. Thanks for watching, see you on next match.